Hey there, it's Amanda. Sorry, I wasn't sure I was recording it. I am trying something a little new. I'm coming to you from my bedroom because all three of my kids are home from school still today. They go back tomorrow. But I have a question. It's a really great one from a member, Carmody Baker. Carmody, is that just, that's the greatest name. And this is her account here. It's really beautiful. The wildlife images are stunning. Totally stunning. Really cool photography for sure. I absolutely love her stuff. She recently went on safari and she emailed me to tell me the story. And she got a great image of one of the wildlife. Oh, what did she say? A lion? Let me look at the email. But one of the animals that she photographed was walking around and had a plastic water bottle in its mouth. And that's just a perfect picture of the devastatingness of pollution and people throwing their trash around. And you see these images. I've seen this, I think, on the news or whatever. You see the ocean lapping up on the shores, and it's just all soda cans and plastic water bottles and nastiness. So I'll try to find this email from her real quick. Here it is. A lion with a water bottle in her mouth. So, and she wanted to raise awareness for recycling, honestly, which I think is really important. I won't get on my soapbox about that. I live in a place where luckily there are no barriers to recycling. It's cheap and easy. It's free and easy to recycle where I live. If there were a lot of barriers to recycling, if I had to take my recycling items to a dump or a center, or if I had to pay to recycle it, it wouldn't be nearly as easy. I live in a place where there's curbside pickup. It is free to recycle, but I have to pay for my trash pickup. So I am heavily incented to recycle. So anything that is remotely recyclable goes in my recycle bin. So I'm proud of that, but I know not everyone has that luxury where they live. But she wanted to raise awareness for that. Now, obviously, I'm always going to first go with, I'm going to go back to my overall strategy, which is theme hashtags first. Obviously, she doesn't post family, kids, and babies and that kind of thing. But I would say most of the hashtags and the hubs now that I'm posting are general, are theme neutral. And there's obviously lots of different nature hubs that she can tag. That list has been updated. Thank you, Laura. So that will be coming out soon. Nature, wildlife. I think she's going to have a lot of luck with those nature hubs. So first go for that. Actually, before she does that, though, I do want to say, because she hasn't posted that image yet, as far as I can tell, because I don't see that image in here. Although these safari images are really something, really something. The little lion cubs, you guys. I would recommend, this is just a piece of advice. Today is Monday, January 6th. I would suggest that she holds on to that picture for a little bit. And the reason I would suggest that is based on me watching the news over the last few days. Anyone who's really has a heart for wildlife conservation and that type of thing. Right now, the big thing, and the thing that is the hot button issue right now, are the bush wildfires in Australia. And I'm getting chills because I just cannot even imagine the devastation. And if you are in Australia right now, I cannot even imagine. But I think that that's where everyone's attention is. And so I think for her to post a picture, again, I'm sure it's a stunning image. I'm sure it's haunting to see a lion in Africa with a plastic water bottle in its mouth, which I'm sure probably it's from tourism or washing up on shore or whatever. Um, I think waiting a little bit to post that until after all of the focus is on the Australian fires, I think will help her cause. She really wants to raise awareness, maybe have this picked up by an ad agency, World Wildlife Federation, that type of thing. And so I would hold on to it for a little bit, because right now, I mean, I think millions of species and animals are. I just saw a thing this morning on the news. It was Steve Irwin's Animal Hospital and Foundation. They had his family on, talking about all of the different types of animals that are coming into the hospital. So I would say first wait. I wouldn't wait on it too long. Now Earth Day is coming up in March. Is it March or April? When is Earth Day, you guys? Is it, maybe it's April? Is it 420, 421? I think that's when it is. Although for some reason, March, it's April or March. I wouldn't wait that long to post it, but I would plan on a repost that on that date. So I would be very much thinking about timeliness of this post. So number one, wait a little bit until hopefully the fires have gone out and now people can kind of reset. Focusing it around a natural recycling holiday like Earth Day, I think is a great way to raise awareness as well. Look for theme tags. And the reason I want you to use theme tags first is because you'll gain more awareness and more exposure that way very quickly. And so if she uses hub theme tags, Gram of the Day, JJ Community, Nothing is Ordinary, Haya Papaya, a lot of these are neutral, so you don't have to have family and kids in the pictures. I would use those and look for theme tags, and first try to go that way. Last year, there was a picture with a plastic water bottle that got picked up by 50 Shades of Nature. And they actually ran a theme based on recycling. So definitely tag those nature hubs and wildlife hubs, because that's something, again, it's a jarring image to see. And so I think that would really, tug at the heartstrings of people that have, have a heart toward, our environment, obviously, which you should have, I hope. But yeah, so do that first. Theme tags, subject specific hashtags. See if you can kind of get some good eyeballs on it that way. See if you can get that thing featured for sure. You could even DM it to some of those bigger nature hubs or the wildlife hubs. You can DM it and just say, hey, I wanted to raise awareness and try to rally up people around the cause of recycling and conserving. And a mod who may not have seen it in a hashtag search may be like, whoa, and will want to feature it. So don't be shy. I would DM it to some of those mods and those hubs as well. And then I would think about, and again, World Wildlife Federation. I've got my phone here. Let me go. I'm just going to use a quick search. I use my Instagram search bar all the time. I'm literally going to type in wildlife and see what happens. Jess pulls up first. She's one of our Hub Hack members, Gaggle Photog. World Wildlife Fund. Wildlife, Wild Souls. That's a hub. That's a hub. Let me see. Although you got to make sure that it's actually, because that's like a wedding picture. These are more couples. This is not, see, that's, you always got to click on them. This is a couples. So this is not one that she would, not one. So you got to tap over and see wildlife. This has 360,000 followers. Their hashtag is wildlife IG for a feature. They haven't posted since November 29th. So they're not active right now. It's possible they took off for the holidays, but it doesn't look like they were super active prior to that. Let me see if I can find the name of a mod or something like that. But she could use that hashtag, but again, they just have not been very active there. Wildlife Planet. This has almost 4 million followers. it's the largest wildlife community with over 3 million, almost 4 million. Hashtag wildlife planet. This is definitely a hub that has a heart towards saving wildlife. They're trying to get people to donate to the Australian fires in that cause as well. So I would absolutely, hashtag these hubs and message them. Share it to your story and tag this hub. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm just kind of tapping around here and see if I can find anything else. You can think of location specific hashtags as well. But that's what I would do first. Now, as far as getting it picked up by an ad agency, I've not worked with ad agencies. I think it would work really well in a stock photo. So if Carmody, I don't know if you're a member of like Offset or Caven or Getty, or I would also your gear. So in her bio, it doesn't say what type of gear she's using, but if she's a Canon shooter or a Nikon shooter, Sony, whatever you're using as your gear, I absolutely would use those hashtags as well. And again, just be shameless. I would direct message. Nat Geo. Now, here's the thing about Nat Geo, and I've talked about this before. A lot of people use those hashtags incorrectly. Let me see if I can quickly find my guide to Nat Geo. I think that's on the Hub Hack. I may have to post that again because a lot of people tag Nat Geo the wrong way. Yeah, I didn't find it quickly. So like it's Nat Geo Your Shot or Your Shot Photographer. Don't use those hashtags. You actually have to submit your image through their website. So Carmody, if you don't have an account at Nat Geo or National Geographic or whatever, go over there, create an account, and you can submit your image that way. Now, if Nat Geo features it, then I think they use a hashtag Your Shot Photographer. There's also, I think, a Daily Dozen that is a very popular big thing. I'm just going to real quick put in Nat Geo on here because that's a huge account. 130 million followers. Okay. 130 million followers. So absolutely I would submit it. So again, I would just be brainstorming different hubs that you can hashtag, different Instagram accounts where their purpose, like the World Wildlife Fund, Nat Geo, where that's what they do. I think if you can get some exposure through those hubs, you will get contacted by potentially ad agencies or different organizations that want to use that image in their, in their materials or in their marketing to try to raise awareness. So that's what I would do first. You could use that search bar. You can type in recycling maybe. There's nothing super, I'm not seeing anything amazing here. I'm not seeing anything amazing under using that keyword, but I would brainstorm different keywords, type those into the search bar and see what you can find that way. But I would definitely wait a little bit until the focus can kind of shift from Australia. I would absolutely tee that up to be a big deal and repost that right around Earth Day. I think there's a holiday called America Recycles Day. I don't think there's any problem with reposting an older image. Meg Lukes does this all the time. A lot of my favorite photographers do this all the time. There is no shame in reposting an image, especially if there's a purpose to it. And so if you're going to repost that image on a recycling or a conservation holiday and use trending hashtags specific to that, there's no shame in that game at all. So I would absolutely do that. So I hope that was helpful. I think it could be your work is just gorgeous. So I think it really could be a shot that jumps out at people and they want to spread the word on that. But again, give it a little bit of time, because I think right now everybody is just, everyone's hearts are breaking for our friends over in Australia and the devastation and the loss that they are experiencing right now. So I hope that helps.